Hey, really rare. How are you? Hey, Butterfly 73. How are you doing? That Beth D. Bailey. How are you doing, Beth? Hey, Dwayne. Is it Dewana? Dewana? Hopefully it's Dewana. How are you? I love Tilly. Cloverly Sage. How are you? Good evening. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. Brian Powered Up. How are you? Hi, Erica. Erica and Sammy. How are you doing? Hey, just be real. How are you? I was trying to put you on to being a moderator on my Facebook page. Let me play with it a little bit so I can get you on there, okay? Hey, Sharimella, Mary, Sonia, Jasmine, Nikki, Tasha, Alicia, Agnes, how are you doing? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Honestly, Trina, how are you doing? Life is sweet. That's what I'm talking about. Stare, MW, how are you doing? Steph, Angeline. Hey, Danielle. How are you doing? Hey, Brenda. Hola. Lisa, Naya, Marie, Chantel, Tanya, Lisa, Heather, Oivis, Amanda, Adrena, Lopez. How are you? Melissa, SMBB. How are you? How are you guys doing? Thank you so much. I see you. Just be real. Solo en mi confío. Ijomani, Miss Hot Topic. Hey there. Okay, Georgia, I see you. Kelly, Shayna, peace over everything. Maria McDonald. I'm doing good. How you doing, sis? Marty, Ashley, Naya. All right, Mississippi. Bado. Interesting topic. Thank you. Tony, how are you doing? Thank you. Shayanese. Well, thank you so much. Oh, Brazil. Okay, Brazil in the house. Hi, Michelle from Brazil. Okay, I see you. Hey, Swain. Swain Fuller, how are you? Natalie, how are you doing? Iris, Jessica, K. Millie, Orlando, Florida. Okay, I see you. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. See Carol, Ginger. Hey, Ginger. Hey, Melissa. Should have got a bigger cup of water. I'm thirsty. Oh, excuse me. Hey, Mo, Jeffers, Angie, Sherry, Toya, Tyrone, Detroit in the house. I got family in Detroit. Adriana, Dallas. Okay. Maria, hola. Let's see. Demetria, hello, Demetria. Brianna, how are you? Florida, okay. Yolanda Cook, Lisa, New York City. I'll be in New York, not next year, but the following year. 2024, I'll be in New York. Thank you so much. St. Petersburg, Columbus, Ohio, Canada in the house. Okay. Tiffany, Jackson, Mississippi. Okay. That's where I had to go to do my testing for my cosmetology license back in the day. Mississippi. Okay. April. Hey, Carmen. Your name sounds wonderful. How are you? New Mexico in the house. South Carolina. Oh, South Central Los Angeles. Okay. I'll be in California next year. Lana, Dr. Susie. How are you doing? Phoenix. Okay. Peace over everything. Okay. I saw you already. Let's see. Tari, Marie. I'm sorry, Marie. Sonia, Jeffers, Sandy, Indiana. Okay. Is Liza Marie? How are you doing? New Mexico. Okay. Baltimore in the house. All right. Indiana. BBC. Beautiful British Columbia. Okay, girl. I see you. Oda. All righty. Well, since you're impatient, let's go and take you off Facebook. There we go. Too easy. All right. Amy, Jay, how are you doing? Christina, Wahid, Gilbert, Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona. Okay. Philly in the house. LBC. Okay, what's LBC? Don't laugh at me. What's LBC? Sounds familiar. Massachusetts in the house. Patrice, Brianna, Tiffany, Jessica, Omaha, uh, Nebraska, Vivian, Ian. I'm sorry, Ian, Tiffany. Let's see. Let me go. England. Okay, England. I see you. Our sincerest condolences for the death of Queen Elizabeth II. We are in mourning with you. Want you to know that America is grieving with you on the loss of the beautiful queen of 70 years. I think over 70 years. It's the start of a new era. So we are sending our condolences to the UK and want you to know that America is grieving the loss of your beautiful queen as well. And congratulate King Charles III. King Charles III, the new king, a new era. So we are in condolences. We are grieving with you. Okay, all right. Well, since I got most of you guys on here, let's get started. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much, Christina. I appreciate that. All right. Well, let's thank you so much, Barry, and thank you for let us know you appreciate us. Thank you. Long Beach, California. I should have known, right? Thank you so much. And we'll make sure that all of us here in America let everyone in the UK know that we grieve the loss of your beautiful queen. Over 70 years, she reigned beautifully. She was the epitome of professionalism, beauty, brains, and she did a very good job at what she did. And we are praying for King James. King James. I'm thinking of the Bible. King Charles III. We are praying for their family, the Windsors. I think it's the Windsors. We are praying for the family in the UK and all the people that are mourning the loss of their beautiful queen who reigned beautifully, who did a excellent job. She was a grandmother, she was a mother, she was a great grandmother, and she was the Queen of England. She held many titles. She held a crown, but she held many crowns, and she held the crown and of the people's hearts. And so we are sending our condolences from the United States to the UK. We love you all, and we are thinking of you, and we are following the funeral. Leading up to the funeral, we are following on YouTube and BBC News as well. And so we just want you all to know that. So let's get started, y'all. So let me get Clubhouse up and started. So those of you that have Clubhouse, you're welcome to join me on Clubhouse as well. For those of you that have Clubhouse, you're welcome to watch me on the visual social media. I know I usually give myself a grace period at 8:30 because I'm still working. Hey, Miss Crystal, how are you doing? And Yane, that's a pretty name. But I also give you guys an opportunity to have to watch me visually. I am on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and I am on LinkedIn and on Twitter. So if you guys would like to watch me visually, you are welcome to watch me visually. I will do. I'm not going to talk long tonight. I say that all the time, but you know me. I like the topic. Hi, Max. But I'm trying not to be on long tonight. Try to stay on for like an hour. I got my clock keeper. I got Danielle, and I got Just Be Real on tonight. Danielle is actually Apostle Helen Sadler's moderator, and she has so graciously graced us with her presence here. So she also helps Just Be Real when they come on and moderate for me. You guys are welcome here. Number one, you're welcome here. For those of you on visual, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start talking. I'm going to start talking and talking about the topic. And what I'll do is when I'm finished talking, I'll open it up for some questions for like 10 minutes. And then I usually come over to Clubhouse. And on Clubhouse, I allow people to ask me some questions for a little while. And then I close it out. So those of you that do have Clubhouse, you're welcome to join me here and then switch over. Thank you, Danielle. Switch over. And I know you're busy, so thank you so much for being here. But you guys are welcome to come over here as well. You can listen on both of the apps. And if not, when I close out on these apps, and you can come over to Clubhouse. Okay, so we're just waiting for a few people to come on Clubhouse, and while we're waiting for them, let me just go ahead and introduce myself. My name, for those of you that are new at following me or new here. Hey there, Jesus girl Betty, how are you? My name is Dr. Carmen Bryant. I am a licensed mental health counselor here in the state of Washington, the great Northwest. I am also a clinical trauma professional, coach. I am a published author and a public speaker. I also serve as a minister under Apostle Helen Sadler, into his Chambers Ministries, and so a mother, grandmother, and so here I am. And one of my biggest passions is to help those that are coming out of narcissist relationships, situationships, as I call it, those that are survivors, those that are victims of. And I provide you with some information, number one, to help you understand what it is that you're going through or have gone through. Tonight's topic, I'm talking about narcissist projection. So I'm just going to tell you ahead of time that I'm probably going to step on some toes. I'm probably going to make some of you guys mad. I'm just going to keep it real. The one thing that I do, because I am also a retired senior non-commissioned officer in the United States Army, and because of the fact when I was in the military, one of the biggest things in training was you tell it like it is. You don't beat around the bush, straightforward, and then people have to determine how they're going to take that information. One of the biggest things is that you have been in a situation with a narcissist where everything did not come clearly, everything was not straightforward. It was like you had to decipher information. You didn't understand what was going on. So one thing that I don't like to do, I don't like to confuse people. I like to be straightforward. Now, there are some things that are going to happen when I do this. There's some of you going to get upset. I understand that. If you get upset, if I step on your toes, if you feel disgruntled, if you feel like she got some nerve, then I'm probably talking about you, and you have to do some changing. And that's good. You want somebody to be straightforward with you, and you need to do some changing. Hard love, heavy love, whatever it is, whatever that type of love is, that's what we're going to do. Now, the other group of people will be those that are trolls, the roaches. So when you turn on the light, the roaches come out. We step on roaches. So you have to be prepared that there are some trolls that are going to come out. And those trolls, some of them may not be narcissists, some of them may be narcissists, and some of them are taking a hit because that's the sign of stuff that they do. This is the kind of stuff that they do, and they're appalled at the fact that someone will hold them accountable, or they're not ready to change. So you have to be prepared. So don't be surprised at what you see whenever people are talking on here, or the stuff that you see later on when the video posts. So it is what it is, and I like it because our haters are the ones that make our name great. A hater is going to be a hater is going to be a hater. A narc is going to be a narc. And sometimes it's not the people that love you that's going to make your name great. Sometimes it's your haters that'll put your name out there and listen, this is who I was talking about, this fool, this, what? And what they're doing is they're sharing the video. They're watching the videos too. So I might step on some feet tonight. Okay. So what I'm going to say is, what I'm asking you to do is, when you get on here, there's something that I've said previously. When you're on somebody else's platform, you have to give the teacher respect, because the test is going to come. The teacher is going to teach, but the test is going to come. And when the test comes, the teacher is quiet. And so you have to be prepared for that. Now, let's talk about narcissist projection. So I was thinking about the topic, and I wanted to, now some of you guys are technically inclined. I understand that. We're not going to try to overanalyze what I'm getting ready to say. But the first thing that I'm going to say is that when you think, when you have thoughts, you do not think in words, you think in imagery. And what happens is when you open up your mouth, you assign words to the imagery in your head. So if I want to know where you are located or what you are thinking, all I have to do is listen to what you're saying. Some people are not quick to say everything that comes to their mind, and some people are quick to say the things that come to their mind. For example, I'm never going to get out of this situation. That means that someone has projected an image in your head to make you feel like this will never happen. It could be history. It could be that every family member has been in a situation like yours, so you can't see yourself coming out of it because you've never seen it done before. But you could be that person to come out of that situation once you change the imagery in your head. The things that are coming out of your mouth are like a compass. It directs you in the direction that you want to go. That's why in therapy, you have cognitive behavior therapy. Well, cognitive means cognition, means thoughts, and behavior means behavior. That's what it means. In order to change your behavior, you got to change your thoughts. So in order to change your trajectory in which you are going, you have to change what is coming out of your mouth. That means that you can't say everything you see. Now, some people will argue with you because they're trying to get you to convince them. It's almost like an argument to try to force you to make them change their mind. But a person is responsible for the mindset that they have, and the stuff that comes, everything that's negative that comes out of their mouth lets you know there's negative thoughts and imagery. Well, there's negative imagery in their head. Now, let's look at it from the perspective of like a narcissist or general person. We'll work with it. Okay, let's look at the computer, for example. Those of you that came to my conference, those of you know I have a projector that I use, and you guys have seen projectors before. So I have my laptop, I have a projector, and then there's a screen. There's a projector screen. So everything that comes out of that projector projects onto the screen. Now, in the computer, and let's not be technically, let's not try to overanalyze, but let's talk about the eye for a minute. Whatever the eye sees is the image is upside down, and you see it right side up. Everything when you're dealing with a narcissist is projected to you upside down. You see it upside down, but you take responsibility of what you see, and then you make it apart. So you live in your life upside down. When in actuality, if you turn the image around, is right side up. And I'm going to explain that to you in just a minute. So let's look at the computer for a minute. When I'm sitting behind the computer, I can see my image in this computer. You guys can't. You guys can see the image, but I can see the image in this computer. Let's just say I don't have a live viewing at this particular time, but I can see my image in this computer. I can see in this computer. Excuse me, guys. My eyeliner all over the place. Excuse me, guys. But I can see my image in this computer. Now, if I have a projector connected to it and I turn the projector on, but I keep the lid on the projector, the image that is on this computer is projecting into the projector. Now, there's no sound in my computer. I'm talking, but there's no sound, but there's image in here. So you see me doing stuff in the computer, which is actually doing stuff in the projector, and it has sound in the projector, right? And then if you take the lens cap off of the projector, is going to project on the screen. Now, the image that you see on the screen does not come from the screen. It's coming from the projector, which comes from the brain. This comes from the mind. So if you think of it for just a minute, think about what's on this screen is projecting into this person. So it's inside of the projector. You keep the lens cap on, no one knows what is in the mind of that person. That person is a projector. Let's say the narcissist. So you don't know the turmoil and the drama and the hatred and the fight is going on the inside of this narcissist. The only way you know it is when you take the lens cap off and they project on you. So everything that they're saying to you is an image of what is inside of them. So when they tell you, you think you all that, don't you? The image is coming to you upside down. You have to take it and put it right side up and say, no, I wasn't thinking that. Those are your thoughts. You think I'm all that. The next thing you may hear is you think you so smart, right? Oh, so you got you a little education. You got you a little job. You got your little car and everything. So you think you better than me. No, flip it around. You think I'm better than you. So a lot of times what you're doing is you're taking the image that's being projected and you claim it as your own. And you put words on those images. One thing that a narcissist will do, well, one of many things that a narcissist will do, is they listen to you as you talk. That's why you have this, what in the domestic violence world is that honeymoon season. And when you combine the two, that love bombing phase, that love bombing stage, that idealization stage where you're the best thing since sliced bread on the moon, they listen to everything. This is how you get caught up with them because they're such a good listener. They're such a good listener. They give me a lot of feedback. They're not giving you feedback. They're parroting what you're saying. It's called active listening. They're parroting what you're saying. But what they're doing is they're getting you to tell them the imagery that is in your head. They need to know the imagery in your head. What are your thoughts? Where is your heart? What is it that you value the most? What is that you care about the most? What is it? And some of you guys actually say, my dream is, to be married and have children and have this and have that. And this is what happened to me in the past. And one thing I cannot stand for a person not to hear me when I'm talking. I can't stand to be abandoned. I can't stand to be left alone. You think that they're listening to you and they're telling you, I would never do something like that. What you're telling them, number one, as you're giving them the imagery in your head, what you're telling them, number one, are this is the role that I need to play in your life in order to pull you. So you're giving me information to know what role I play in this movie. I'm auditioning for a role. I just need to know which one I need to audition for. And when I audition for it, I need to make sure, what do they call it? They call it, uh, there's a method acting. Method acting, when you read upon method acting, the actor takes upon the whole persona of the person that they're playing. That's why you have a lot of people. I can't think of the actor that played. Um, uh, what was his name? We are the champ. Freddie Mercury, the actor that played Freddie Mercury, he had to take upon his persona to act out that role. James Brown, Elvis Presley. If you ever heard of the interview of the guy, the actor that played Elvis Presley, he got so engrossed in the role and he played it so well that he got caught up in it, where he could not distinguish the difference between his personality and Elvis' personality. He couldn't stop talking like Elvis. He had to go to therapy to get himself out of the role. That's called method acting. And Narcissist does the same thing. They study the role and they study the script that you give them and the image that you have in your head. And then they begin to method act, where they get engrossed in this role that you've given them. The other thing that you're doing as well is you're giving them your cracks. You're giving them your weak points, because those very things that they're going to play a role in to pull you is the very things they'll use again. They'll flip it around and use it against you. Now, the other thing that they'll do is they slowly begin to change the imagery in your head. They already know where you're at, but now that you've given them this information of the imagery in your head by putting words to it and giving it to them on a script, now what they do is, and they do it, what's the word I'm looking for? They do it systematically. So systematically, they slowly begin to integrate words, and those words that they're integrate, it could be in a joke. Oh, you always taking things so serious. I'm just joking. Something that looks ugly on you. I can't believe you said that. Girl, I'm just joking with you. Or well, dang, you little tummy getting fat, huh? Oh, so what you trying to say? I'm fat. That, see you. That's you. That's not me. That's you. That's how you think. Now you think that's how you think. You weren't thinking like that before, but now they're telling you, oh, that's how you think. So they slowly start interjecting these words and start drawing on your canvas in your mind. They start changing your imagery, starts changing the way that you think. And what they do is, all they get you do is to speak what it is that's in your head, to see if the imagery that they're putting in there is working. And all you have to do is speak. And when you speak, you start playing a movie for them to let them know how effective they are and how much more work they have to do. But most of the time, the stuff that you're saying is stuff that they're projecting onto you. You are so vindictive. You are hateful. You want to destroy my life. You trying to destroy my life. You are hateful. You are vindictive. And you're thinking to yourself, I ain't never had nobody tell me that before. I've never been. You start asking people. Now you're confused. Like, am I really? Yeah, because you're so now, but think about what's happening. Now they know that, okay, that gaslighting, that crazy making. And now you're starting to like, am I? That's not true. And you're arguing back and forth with a person. When a person is projecting their thoughts on you, that's not time when you argue back with them, because as you argue back with them, they know it's working because they got you arguing. You are putting a lot of energy to prove to them that that is not true. I have to prove to you that the picture that you're projecting on me is not really me. Those are really not my thoughts. You don't have to argue with somebody. You don't have to agree with them. They're trying to force you to agree with them. You have to agree with them. Excuse me, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm so thirsty. Clubhouse, I know you can't see, and I apologize. I just had to take some sips of water. Sorry. But what you have to learn to do, and I know it's going to make some of you guys mad, I'm just saying, shut your mouth. Stop talking so much. Every time you turn around, stop saying, I can never see myself out of the situation. It doesn't matter what it looks like. You start changing the imagery in your mind. Things are built. Things are created. People are creative. People create things because of the imagery that they have in their mind. When it looks impossible, it challenges them to do the impossible. Who could have ever imagined that we're on a computer seeing each other in real time? It was a thought in somebody's mind, and they took that and start putting words to it and started writing and started talking to people with like-minded people so that it came and it exists. So now we see each other in real time. Who would have ever imagined an airplane? If they would have went with every negative thought, because they're going to be challenged. I'm trying to make this fly, but I keep failing. I keep failing at this. But they still, I can make this happen. I can make this happen. Imagine had they stopped, it would have never happened. And they had to get people that had like minds around them. Sometimes you have to cut off the people that don't have a like mind as you do. You've got to get around people that think like you do. And when I say think like you, I don't mean negative. They just as negative as you are and help you be negative and wallow in your in negativity. You got to find people that have a vision, people that have been through something that you have been through as well. And some of you guys have been through narcissist abuse. And you have to look for people not that are at the same level as you are. I can see that as a support team to help each other. But if all you guys are agreeing, and I'm saying all you guys, but if everybody that you're around are agreeing with how horrible it's been, and that's all you ever talk about, how horrible this is, I can't see myself out of this situation, it's so hard, and no one will understand. But sometimes you're talking to people that have gotten beyond where you are. And you're talking to a person that was in the same position as you were. And what the question should be is, you've been in this situation yourself. How did you get out of it? Obviously, you got out of it. Were you going through the same things in your mind that I was going through? And they'll tell you, absolutely. A lot of times people can't handle that negativity, and they're not going to be around that negativity because they're trying to get themselves out of that situation. I can never see myself free. Well, you say you have what you say you have. You got to draw another picture. You want to write a book. I can never see myself writing a book. Okay, you won't then, because you don't have the image in your head. Every great thing started from an image in somebody's head, and they're going to come up with some challenges. When you are challenged, it should push you forward some more. I can never see myself in being wealthy. Why not? You have giftings, you have ideas, you have $1 million idea in you that you haven't even tapped into. But if you don't put any legs to that thought, every time, of course, every time you try to do it, it seems like it's never going to happen. That should make you want to do it even more because you got the idea. So why did you get the idea if you don't think it's going to happen? Well, I'm just going to give it up because I don't want to pursue it. Narcissists are like that. All they need you to do is be negative. And you're giving them feedback of what they're putting in you. And you are the projector screen, and they're projecting their negativity on you. It is not your responsibility to pick up on their negativity. And that could be from the family you were born into. You can be born into a family, everybody's negative. They're narcissists. And as soon as you're born, they hand you some rose-colored glasses. So everything is always negative. You can't see the good. That's called pessimism. But you can't see the good in anything. You see negative in everything. When you do see something good, and when sometimes, like I said in the last video, that saboteur, you become the saboteur. You become the saboteur because you are repeating what has been projected in you. You are taking responsibility for something that was not your mindset. Someone gave you that and you incubated it, and now you're speaking it. Does that make sense to everybody? Does that make sense? I told you I ain't gonna be here long. I'm not gonna be here long. I'm not gonna be here long. So talk to me. So give me some feedback. Talk to me. So give me 10 minutes. Just be real. Give me 10 minutes and tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're thinking. You got some questions. Facts. They said facts. Absolutely. Yes. So much sense. Thank you, Eli. Uh it makes sense. Making sense. Thank you so much. Yes, it does. See, when I changed my mindset, things started happening for me. At one point in time, I was like, how can this person have done something? Like, how am I gonna make it? How am I gonna do it? Until that fog started lifting, and I realized, like, wait a minute, we both were in the military. Hold on a minute. I got a retirement too. Wait a minute. I got education too. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. And then I started looking, I was like, wait a minute, I was the one to sustain the household. Both of us had an income, but I sustained the household. You thought overdraft was a part of your pay. You thought that was a gift. You know, you didn't even know what car insurance was until I introduced it. You see what I mean? You're so right, because the guy narcissist I'm dealing with sounds a lot like my mom. See, you end up pulling people that are very similar to the people whose household you came out of. Thank you, Kitty Cat Black. Thank you. Do they actually believe their projections, or do they know they're lying or deflecting? They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. But the crazy thing about it is they try to convince you to a point where they start believing what they're trying to convince you. You're the crazy one, not me. They'll try to convince you to a point where they'll believe it themselves. So how do you project positive imaging? Well, first of all, some of you guys have a problem with projecting your positivity onto something that is already defected. So a lot of times you hear yourself when you say, I just don't understand why they're like that. I would never do anything like that. See, now you're projecting your good qualities and your good attributes onto the narcissist. And so your mind can't wrap around why they would do what they would do. Oh, how can they do something like that? Or why would they do something like that? Because you're thinking from your good attributes. You're thinking from the way that you are. So now you're projecting yourself onto them. And what you have to do is separate that, like, that's how I am. So I can't tell you how that person is, but obviously that person doesn't think the way that I think. You have to change your mind. That's you. Facts, I was told to get help and therapy. And 9 times out of 10, somebody told them to get help and get therapy. Can they ever change? They don't change, they get worse. They don't change, they get worse. Make sense? Absolutely. Why do narcs call you a narc? Because they recognize the a narcissist is going to call you a narcissist because 9 times out of 10 you're calling them a narcissist and you're calling them out, or they'll go study it. Most people have narcissistic traits, and so they'll recognize your narcissistic traits. A narcissist is great at coming up with a platform because they recognize the traits because they carry those traits, and they'll say everybody has narcissistic traits, and it's an actual narcissist, a person that actually has the disorder. They recognize it in you. They recognize the narcissistic traits in other people because they have all the traits on the spectrum that makes that cluster, that makes that disorder. And for most people, it's not a disorder, they're just traits. She said, my mom, facts. If you need help to finally get done, you got to find yourself a good coach or a good therapist. 6 minutes? Okay. Let's see. So the stop talking to give away our script for them to project is similar or different to gray rock. Well, think about it. It is very similar to gray rock. Very similar to gray rock. When you meet somebody, you don't meet somebody. Most people make the mistake in just telling all your business. So when you meet somebody and you're trying to get to know somebody, most people have this habit where it's like this lot opens up and you just start telling all your business. When you notice that you're talking to somebody and you're telling all your business, you need to back up. You need to come up out of that relationship, situationship. You need to go get some help. If you immediately start telling people all your business, you got to get some help, because you should not be telling people all your business. Said, yep. There are self-aware narcs in therapy with their own platform to help others. They're not helping anybody. A narcissist always has an ulterior motive. What is the greatest way of getting supply? Open up a platform and start talking about yourself. I'm a self-aware narc. I'm gonna let you know this. They always have an ulterior motive. A narcissist will never tell you how to totally defeat and destroy them. They're not going to tell you that. They can't. They're not going to tell you that. But they're getting plenty of supply with the amount of people they get on their platforms. And those people, a lot of them turn into flying monkeys, and they will come out swinging and fighting. They're innocent. They're not going to hurt a fly. They're sweet. They're aware. They're very remorseful of what they do. No, they're not. No, they're not. And if that's the way you start feeling, you still got to go get help. You're still being pulled. You're still drawing narcissists to you. Is telling your business a narcissist trait? No, telling your business means you talk too much. And sometimes people need help. Sometimes people talk too much because they need help, and they need to stop talking to everybody and go find a professional to talk to. Amber said exactly. Let's see. Now, if you guys write very long statements, you have to remember that there's more than one page connected to the live stream. And so if you guys have long questions, I can't read the long question because they scroll too fast. So some of you guys don't see it scrolling, but on my end, it's scrolling real fast. I did talk too much. I did too, girl. I did too. I was guilty of it too. Let's see. The difference between talking too much and being blunt. Talking too much is telling too much of your business. Everybody should not know all your business. And when you're talking to somebody, you need to be careful at what you expose about yourself. And notice when people are wanting to know a lot about your business and not saying anything about themselves. Being blunt is just being frank, being straightforward. Listen, don't disrespect me. Don't do this. Don't do that. But the one thing you don't want to do is the last time I was in a relationship, this is what happened. The last time, one thing that I don't like this and I don't like that. You don't have to tell a person that. When they start crossing boundaries, you let them know. Okay, I don't appreciate that. You have to say the last time, and the last time I was, because you're telling where your pain is at. So you're telling that your heart is still leaking. No, they do something to disrespect you. Like, first of all, I don't like that. Don't ever do that again. And if you do that again, I'm going to have to set in my boundaries. Your boundaries are the next time you do that, I'm going to stop talking to you. That's what's going to happen. You don't have to tell them what happened in the past. That's being blunt. Sure, you shouldn't be telling people all your business. I made that mistake before, never again. Right here, Doris, I got you. Mm-hmm. Will they follow through with what they say they will do? Most of the time, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times they will. If you pay attention, they'll tell you exactly what they're going to do. And sometimes we look over it as if they're just talking crazy, talking out the side of their neck. No, a lot of times, 2 minutes, okay. A lot of times they'll tell you exactly what they're going to do. Just have to pay attention. That's a lot of you guys that are going through courts and stuff like that. A lot of times if you stay silent and don't say anything, so you got to be quiet because they'll make you mad and you'll tell all your business so they'll know exactly what your plan is. You be quiet. And the more quiet you are, the more frustrated they get. And the more they talk, the more you get where they're going and what they're trying to do. They tell on themselves, especially when they frustrate and they can't get you to talk. They'll tell on themselves. Just listen to them. They will tell on themselves. Last thing he said to me is his needs weren't being met with me. That was just an excuse because he's on the hunt. That's just an excuse to make you feel bad. They don't take responsibility for themselves. And he was trying to make you feel bad because he's already on the hunt. You don't have to explain why exactly. How do you stay quiet with a violent narc? First of all, you don't need to be in the situation. So you have to find a way. You get yourself a support team, get yourself a domestic violence advocate, get yourself a therapist that will help you get out of the situation. If you have children, this is my disclaimer to you because I cannot give you legal advice, nor can I give you therapeutic advice. But what you need to do is you need to connect with a domestic violence advocate to help you get out of the situation. If you jump up and try to leave the situation on your own, they can always say that you kidnapped the children. So it'll be a whole nother court case. So what you do is you connect with a domestic violence advocate, get yourself a therapist so they can help you and they can document. A lot of them are mandated reporters, meaning that they do have to report if that narc get violent. You can also ask for a no contact or a no contact or a restraining order, if that narcissist is violent. But if you're still in that situation, there's not a lot people can do for you until you make your mind up that you want to get out of that situation. Yeah, they're on the hunt. Yep. You're welcome, Kristen. Good job, Diane. Can I do a live video on co-parenting with a narc? I did a video on co-parenting, counter-parenting. And I'm also, I have a course that's coming out. It's called Behavior Modification Strategies for Parents of children 2 through 12. And in that, I'm also going to be talking about co-encounter parenting. So there's a lot of good stuff that's going to be in that course. So you guys be prepared. That course, I'm working on that course, and that course should be coming out shortly. Let's see. A guy I started dating kept accusing me of still wanting my ex. I felt like I have to explain too much. Now he ghosted me. No, it's because of the fact that he still wanted his ex. You know that wasn't the case for you, and it didn't even sound right. Where'd you get that from? Because that wasn't your thought. That was his thought. And you should have gave it back to him by saying, no, you need to fix whatever you and your little ex is going through. You're welcome, Eli. Uh, so these are going real fast. Uh, I I left my ex of 30 plus because of everything you said they do. He did it. See? Yeah. So Sama, I don't know what you're asking me. What does start mean? So let's see if I got anything over here on Instagram. I have nothing over on Instagram. All right. So I'm gonna start closing it down, y'all. Start closing down. Some of these are going real fast. Let me see. You can't wait for the course. Really need it. Thank you, Miss Doris. I appreciate you. It's going to be a very powerful course. This is something that I used to teach when I used to be a family preservation service provider. I used to work for a private agency that contracted with the Department of Child Services. And so we used to deal with a lot of CPS cases. These were children that had been taken out of the home, that had visitations. These are children that were about to be taken out of the home. And so I had to come in and I had to teach the parents how to parent. And a lot of times, teaching parents how to modify behavior started off with modifying parent behavior first. And so in this course, I'm going to be teaching you a lot of strategies concerning yourself, and then also concerning what you're doing with the children, how you're parenting the children, and also how to modify the behavior. Number one, you got to modify your own, and then how to modify their behavior. It's a lot of good information. So when you guys enroll, you will see everything that will be in that course. So just be patient with me. I've got the outline. I just discussed my platform. So I got a platform. And so I just got to put the videos in there. So I'm also trying to put in some workbooks. So you have to give me a minute to put everything together. But once the course launches, I will let you guys know when the course launches. I'm telling you, it's very effective. I used to use it. I was kind of shocked. If you ever watch the shows like The Nanny, she uses it. It stemmed from is a program called 1-2-3 Magic, and she uses those principles. What she does with the children that you see on the show, she uses those principles from that program. She uses those principles to teach the parents how to modify their behaviors and modify the children's behaviors. And so this is a course that I am teaching as well to help you modify your behaviors, but to help you modify your children's behaviors so you can reclaim your house, so you can get control of your house again. And a lot of people have lost their house because they're afraid. They guilt parent. They're afraid that the narcissist is going to take the kids. The kids are acting like narcissists. And when I say acting like narcissists, they're abusing you. And so you have totally lost control in your house, and you're frustrated and you don't know what to do. So yes, this course will be coming out soon. Also, I want you guys to know I do have a book. It's called Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. You can find it on Barnes and Nobles. You can find it on Amazon, and on, for those that are overseas, Westbow Press. They will send it overseas. But I do have a book. It's called Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. And this is Abused by the Esteem. So let you know that you are not crazy. And there are different scenarios in there to let you know why these women had the mindset that they had when it came to what kind of family they came out of, the mindset that they had, and some of the things that they went through in order to get, and even to get out of the situation. You know, so you guys go invest in that book. That's it's a short read, but it's a very good read. But it's Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting ready to go. I'm coming over to Clubhouse for a few minutes. So if you guys would like to join me over on Clubhouse, you can ask me some questions. Um, ask me some questions. I'm gonna do just a few little bit over here so that I'm not on so late. So I appreciate you guys being here with me. Thank you so much. You guys give me a moment so I can get these classes together for you. Was just one course that's coming out right now, and then I'm also putting together my coaching course. And this coaching course, there's a lot of stuff I'm going to do with that, but I'm gonna let you guys know because I'll have other courses coming out as well. Besides the coaching course, besides this parenting course, I will have other courses that are going to be coming out as well. So I appreciate you guys coming here, supporting me. Thank you guys so much. I know I couldn't answer a lot of questions because a lot of the questions were so long, and I have a lot of the channels put together on one, so the questions go really, really fast. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys being here. Those that are asking about Clubhouse is an app, just download the app. And once you download the app, Clubhouse, just go look for, hold on. You have to go look for, I think I'm under Carmen Bryant. Go look under Carmen Bryant or Overcoming Narc Abuse, and you will find me. You'll see my picture on there. You will find me. Hey there, Miss Karen. How are you? But thank you guys so much for being here with me. Come on over here to Clubhouse. We'll talk for a few minutes before we all go to bed. And I appreciate all of you guys for being here. Thank you so much for supporting me. You guys have a beautiful evening, and I'll be back this week. I have been really productive, trying to get some stuff in order so I can hurry up and launch this course. But I had to get some stuff in my business together as well while I'm doing this. So thank you guys so much for being here. You guys have a wonderful evening. Good night, everybody.